the Humans of Hemp podcast. Be part of the conversations we've never had and the stories we've never shared. So, let's dive in. Hi everyone, we are here with a very special person, Mr. Deven Khanna.
Thank you, Kanika, for inviting me to your podcast. Yes, I've been working on legalization of non-narcotic use of cannabis since 2016-17, and the journey started with filing of the case in the High Court, where we asked the High Court to order to the government to make committees for legalization of non-narcotic use for medicinal and industrial use, and have expert panels set up so that the right to health and right to trade of farmers and citizens can be satisfied. And eventually we got 3 orders from the High Court directing the state government to form committee and also look for avenues for legalization of medicinal and industrial cannabis. This was the first order in 45 years of history of NDPS Act. So, and after that, the government has formed the committee, and from past one or 2 years, we have been working with the government as a member of the hemp committee, which is a legislative committee. And also we undertook various tours of Himachal and of Uttarakhand and Madhya Pradesh, where I took the committee members to interact with the stakeholders of the hemp industry, both the industry, the farmers, the doctors, and the scientists who are involved in India in this market. So we had public hearings in Kullu, we had public hearings in Dharamshala, we had public hearing in Sirmaur, and also in Kangra. And in all these public hearings, we had invited pradhans of different panchayats to ask them their opinion. And eventually, after the public hearing, we in fact got 560 resolutions of different panchayats supporting the policy. So we have people from all the parties who are also involved in BJP, Congress, and other parties also are involved in this, because we are taking consultative process very seriously, because that is how a democracy works. We have to do consultation and take the views of the citizens and take the views of the people who are against us, and their views are extremely important, so that our decisions are also tempered with fairness and are democratic. So right now the situation is that we have a very supportive government. Honorable the Chief Minister Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu ji has formulated this committee through a legislative process, which gives the committee a very high standing. The committee has been given the task to go to different places, meet different people, and formulate a comprehensive policy, and have a cash crop which actually revolutionizes the economic status of people both in Himachal and also outside.
What do you think is the importance of consulting, education, and community when it comes to layman education, where they can openly talk about their concerns or about their feedback, testimonials?
So see, the thing is that of course awareness, spreading knowledge, is a basic thing, so that anything can grow. It is a seed from which the tree grows. So the issue with cannabis is that when you are spreading awareness about cannabis, we have to be clear that we are not encouraging the use of recreational use of cannabis, because that is something which is illegal under the law. You cannot promote the usage of intoxicating substances. However, when cannabis is being used as a medicine and as an industrial crop, then of course this fine and subtle distinction of the usage of the cannabis plant, which is a non-narcotic usage, that awareness has a very significant role to play, because when you are encouraging the use of non-narcotic plant, it doesn't automatically means that you are encouraging the use of recreational plant. So first of all, this clarity has to be there, both in the people who are making people aware and also the people who are getting this education, that we are trying to promote the non-narcotic use of cannabis, and the purpose of that is that the cannabis product is used as a health product, medicine, So people who are suffering from diseases, who are in need of these medicines, they should be aware that this is a medicine which is available in the market, and these are the diseases which it cures, which certainly does not promote any kind of recreational usage. So the authorities also have to understand that, you know, whenever there is some program or exhibition where medicinal cannabis or industrial cannabis is being promoted, they have to be clear that that function or that event is not promoting recreational use, and they should not be harassing people. Also, the clarity should be there with the organizers to keep themselves separate from recreational use. Our idea in Himachal was to encourage non-narcotic use, that because it will eventually decrease the recreational illegal market. Okay, we are against the illegal drug market in Himachal because we want the money to be legitimately come in the society, and everybody receives the benefit of it, both through taxes and through entrepreneurship. So that is the role of awareness, and of course there is a lot of taboo with this plant, but the taboo can only be removed when the law is reformed, because taboo is rightly there, because if you are dealing in recreational use of cannabis, the greatest the effect of it is that you are committing an illegal act. Whatever it is biologically impacting you, it might be less harmful than alcohol or cigarettes, which is a true thing. But the problem is that it is illegal and it can send you to jail for more than 10 years, even for a life imprisonment. So the taboo is rightly there. But the role of awareness is to make this distinction between recreational and non-narcotic use very clear.
Yes. So coming back to, you're talking about how important are community building events and events in which you can learn so much. Since it's talking about learning in community building, do you think like the opportunity to come to this fair, an organization of like Humans of Hemp, that we are trying to do, get all the experts together and take them to places which can really educate them, is it really helpful for the government also?
Yes, because people are, even the government people are not aware, even the authorities are not aware. Police generally is not aware that seeds and leaves are outside the purview. Seeds and leaves of cannabis plant are outside the purview of NDPS Act. In Himachal also I saw that, because some people were arrested because they were carrying some seeds. And in other states also we have seen cases of people getting arrested even if they are using leaves and stalk of the plant. So only thing which is banned is charas and hashish and other things which are there in the plant, where they are not covered by the NDPS Act. But this distinction is not clear to the authorities themselves, because the NDPS Act has not been taught properly to by the lawyers also, or by at least the part of the NDPS Act which deals with non-narcotic use, that has not been made available, or has not been spoken about too much in the society. So even the authorities are not aware, neither the people are aware. Second is the usage of the cannabis plant. Usage, of course, there is now very much awareness that how many products are being made from this plant, because the companies which are making these products, they are advertising, they are of course marketing, so they are doing the work of spreading awareness themselves, because that is one of the essential requirements in a capitalist society, to do marketing and advertising. So that will happen. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the clarity of understanding of the laws, for which like lawyers have to step up also. Yeah.
Like sensitization workshops and
sensitization workshops, lectures, calling lawyers, calling educationists, calling doctors on this podcast. Like this podcast, you have called me, so I can tell you all the study which I have done from the NDPS Act in past practice of mine as a lawyer. So similarly, doctors can come, and of course they can tell what their experience has been of treating the patients with Ayurvedic medicines here. The problem is that we don't have much data of allopathy, of how diseases are being cured by cannabis, because clinical trials have not been allowed by countries. So we don't have that data. But what we have is, we have testimonials of patients. There are like 3,000 testimonials in India itself, where people are claiming that their breast cancer or other forms of cancer has been cured by the use of cannabis. So when you have this kind of data, which is secondary data, because you don't have clinical trials and you have to rely on secondary data, and the weightage of secondary data is quite high because it's numerous in all the countries, so that cannot be ignored. And once you have that data, then of course under the law also, research and scientific research is a right which is a very high right of human beings because it is directly connected with the evolution of human society. So that is something which we have to make available to the citizens of this country because it is their fundamental right. And providing clinical trials satisfy the right under Article 21 of right to health of that patient. So all these things are extremely important to start so that intergenerational rights of patients can be satisfied.
How important is it to visit the countries which are doing it in a proper way and the expos that are happening outside India to open the field of hemp in India and in Himachal also? The future of India, is it connected to the outside globally also, what is happening?
Yes, so this is one of the most extremely important things which I am facing personally also, because after we have formulated a policy, we were organizing tours for Himachal Hemp Committee and we did tour Madhya Pradesh and Uttarakhand, but the industry in Uttarakhand and Madhya Pradesh is negligible and there is no policy there which can be considered. Our policy is going to be very comprehensive and we are thinking of making a very big market for medical and industrial cannabis, and we want to provide cultivation, processing, transportation, export, everything to the companies which are coming to Himachal. Now I come to a question of foreign tours, why they are important. Because to make this communication happen, to invite this kind of an investment, we have to go to festivals which are cannabis related B2B festivals which are happening all around the world, where all the companies of the world are coming, getting together and networking. Main job of Hemp Committee was to bring in investment in Himachal and improve the condition of farmers there and satisfy the rights of people of Himachal. That can only happen if we have international participation in Himachal. And international participation can only happen when we go there. And also the experts who are drafting the policy, they are sent to different jurisdictions to understand the law and the difficulties the industry is facing in foreign lands, so that we make a policy standing on the shoulders of the experience which the foreign companies have had in foreign jurisdictions. But visiting their manufacturing units outside was extremely crucial in my personal opinion.
So when we talk about inviting industries, do you think this is like a story, the hen came first or the egg came first, that they will say first let's make the policy, then we'll bring the investment, or will it be vice versa, ki okay you bring the investment then we will draft the policy?
It will be midway. There will be some of the industries will have to meet because we want to understand the scope of the policy also, where we understood the difficulties Uttarakhand faced and Madhya Pradesh faced, and also the difficulty of the industries faced in these two states, so that we draft a policy that we don't have to go through the same mistakes again. So they have an experience of 3 years where Uttarakhand had partially given the go ahead to industrial cannabis, not to medical cannabis but to industrial cannabis, and they had problems there in procuring seeds and even getting licenses. Of the industry was facing difficulties because there is red tapeism. But what we want is that we make a fair policy and we include all the solutions which the industry thinks that they want in the earlier policies. So that is the idea, to have this kind of a meeting with the industry again. And right now we personally have drafted the policy. It is going through modifications.
Yes.
But what we want is that we want to have one meeting in Himachal where we will call all the industries, national and international.
And since you don't have any good picture, you told me, last time you were traveling, so you want also to get a good picture with you.